eventually they're able to wake him up. And Kumbhakarna is informed of what is the problem, so he goes out on the battlefield, but of course he's also destroyed. At the same time, Indrajit, who has not been destroyed, who's not been yet killed, creates an illusory Sita and displays this illusory Sita before Rama to make him think that Sita is about to be killed. But Vibhishana tells Rama not to worry, this cannot be actually Sita. This is an illusory Sita. So it's all right to go ahead and attack Indrajit. In fact, you should do this as soon as possible, because he's going to perform a sacrifice, a ritual, in which, if he completes the sacrifice, he's going to be too much powerful. So get him before he finishes his sacrifice. In the fight that ensues, Ravana has decided that Vibhishana should be killed, and so he shoots an arrow at Vibhishana, but Lakshmana is able to intercept that arrow, so that Vibhishana is okay. But then Lakshmana gets hit by an arrow from Ravana, and this arrow is very devastating. So much so that Lakshmana is lying, apparently dying. Everyone becomes desperate. What do we do now? Lakshmana is leaving us. At that point, I think his name is Sushena, who is a kind of doctor, medical doctor, immediately knows what to do. You have to get from such and such mountain, you have to get the such and such herb. Hanuman, quick, go to this mountain, which is near the Himalayan mountains, and find this herb. It looks like this, it looks like that. Bring it back. We need to cure Lakshmana with this particular herb. And so Lakshmana is dispatched, this time again jumping. He goes to the mountain, he sees the mountain, he sees not one herb, he sees so many herbs on this mountain. What did that herb look like? I don't know. This one looks kind of like it. That one also looks kind of like it. That one also looks like it. Am I supposed to take all the herbs? Okay, I'll take the whole mountain. Simple. Lifts up mountain, carries mountain. There's some obstacle on the way, but he manages to overcome. He goes back. Sets mountain down. You wanted some herbs? Please. And so he is there able to save Lakshmana by taking the correct herb and holding it under his nose so that when he simply breathes it, he comes back to life. That is a powerful herb. Well, the final scene of the battle, the great battle between the monkeys and Rama and the Rakshasas, is of course Rama himself shooting one arrow which destroys Ravana by hitting him directly in the heart. When Ravana is killed, everything is finished of Ravana's kingdom, and Sita is allowed, is able to be freed. Sita is brought back to Rama's presence after this war. And at this point, of course, Sita has been waiting for this moment now since some months. But But when Rama sees Sita, he speaks in a very cold way. He says, according to the Valmiki-Ramayana, kind of different than the Tulsi-Ramayana, he says, so my mission has been complete. I have regained my honor. I have killed Ravana. So I have affirmed myself as a proper king Kshatriya. And so my mission is accomplished. And as for you, you may go where you like. But I cannot take you back because you have been with another man. What do you mean I've been with another man? I have been with no other man. Never for a moment in my mind has there been anyone but you. Rama said that may or may not be, but I cannot have you back. It would be improper. And so Sita says to Lakshmana, build a fire. And Lakshman looks at Rama. Rama does not say, no, don't do that. Rama simply stays without any expression. So Lakshman understands now this is what he has to do. He builds a fire. Sita steps into the fire after having circumambulated her husband 3 times. She enters into the fire and of course immediately bringing her out of the fire with not one hair of her body burned. Agni Dev brings her out and brings her before Rama. And in this way she has proved her faithfulness to Rama. And then Rama and Sita can very happily return back to Ayodhya, to a very, very joyful reception by the residents of Ayodhya. Well, the rest of the story I told last time, and as I said, this is a story which is full of karuna. So the end of the story is actually apparently not happy. But we have to keep in mind that we're dealing with the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his eternal consort. And so Rama and Sita as eternal partners are never separated. And so the devotees, when they hear of Rama's and Sita's separation and then again later separation, there is pain in the heart and at the same time there's a feeling actually they're always together. So that when Sita enters the earth, she has actually been called back to Rama. Rama repents and says, please come back. She says, no, that's it, enough of this banishment business. I've been banished once, I've been abducted once. I was left to be tested in a fire. Now I've been left to stay in the forest outside of Ayodhya. Even I was pregnant. Enough of this. I'm out of here. And she entered in, the earth opened up and she entered into the earth. And that was all there was to be seen of Sita in the world. After this, Rama continued his rule of the kingdom for quite some time. And sometimes, as kings do, he would perform sacrifices. And for kings to perform sacrifices, they need to have their wife present. Rama had vowed to have only one wife.